this is temporary. Maybe we'll last today.
Hi guys, hi Sarams, ¿cómo están? My name is NALU for the ones that doesn't know me. I've been living here in South Korea for the last 6, almost 7 years. I came here in my early 20s. I managed to finish my major in business in Korea. Sky. I did internships in startups. I managed to work for almost a year in a very important IT company back then. Around 5 years ago, I started my YouTube channel where we did amazing things en español, and from this year we're becoming global, so I'm speaking to you in English. But in this channel, as my Sarams know, I tend to mix. I do a bibimbap of all languages, which are 한국어, Korean, Spanish, English. We just mix it up, and I think that's also a funny way to learn. 나이 먹었어. That's the way you said in Korea. I became older. 나이 먹었어요. It was not an easy decision. I wanted to cling on my 20s as much as possible until the last second of my life. I think I had a huge crisis being 30. My huge crisis I had. Am I over that crisis? No, I'm not. In 10 years, I'm gonna be 40. In 30 years, I'm gonna be 60. And then I'm gonna be 90. And then I realized maybe I'll never see the first century of this millennium. I was like, I'll never get to see the 2100. Yeah, that's how I am. I arrived to Korea in my early 20s when I was still a student. I had my first working experience here and learning about the working culture, etc. Now I'm becoming an adult here, not in my quote-unquote home country. So if you're watching this video and you are in your 25 plus, 30s, 35 plus, 40s, and you're wondering if it's a good time to move, this is gonna be a really helpful video. It's not that sunny outside. It's afternoon. I think it's perfect time to go outside. Let's go.
Don't feel anxious, don't feel shame. If there's a question, it can't wait another day. Don't feel like it's all in vain. I try to remember, it ain't a race. Breathe out, it doesn't matter anyway. Breathe in, it's about happiness in the air. Take it slow, watch the road. Stop driving myself insane. End of the day.
I think if you are in your 20s, Hongdae is the area to be. I was here in Hongdae every single weekend when I just arrived because I live like 2 stations away. I'll show you the area where all the bars are. So you can find a lot of cheap food, cheap drinks. It's surrounded by universities. That's why this area is so common for 10대, 20대, even some 10대 people. And for people like starting to work, like 30s plus, it's like Itaewon, Hanam these days. Hanam is like a super hip place, and also Gangnam. And when I just arrived here, sometimes I go to Itaewon and I see like those people. Oh, they're too old. And I used to joke around with my friends, like if I started going to Itaewon, it means like 이미 나이 먹었어. Guess what? Now when I'm sometimes in Hongdae, I'm like, they're too young. What the hell? What the hell? I will go to the clubs every weekend. It didn't matter even if it was winter, I'll just come. Basically, didn't care where I live. I was just looking for the cheapest and kind of comfortable, decent place. I lived for a year in a hasuk, which means a student house for women only, and in a jihad. It's in a basement. Why? Because basements are cheaper. Now, I might say the years have passed and age has entered. For me, comfort, it's priority. When I just came here, I didn't have for the deposit money you need to live in Korea, but now I'm like, okay, I need to earn more, I need to save more to have more deposit money, or maybe in the future, maybe I can have chonse. I'll link here if you don't know what chonse means, but it's a system in Korea, how the real estate works. Seriously, BTS is everywhere. Hello! before I didn't notice, but now it's like for real. BTS is everywhere. And we love it. This is the 편의점. People who just buy so many alcohol here to go to drink in this park, in the Hongdae Norito. But now it's a vaccine center, I think. So 어쩔 수 없어.
Lately I've been thinking about the choices I have made and doubt the life I've chosen for myself. I wonder how it would pan out if I stuck to the status quo and stayed in England. Never know, but when
Look at that! A terrace just for us. Let's enjoy terraza. I ordered a tea. Oh, has zero sugar, so it's not that tasty. Oh, 시원해. Oh, very freeze. I think one of the things that I invest the most beside my housing is my food. I try to eat a lot of organic, local produced foods. That's something I'm really passionate about because I think it's the way you invest. My mom, since we were kids, she will always teach us like your food is your investment because you're investing in your health, and maybe now you're eating a little more expensive, but you are saving in like 10 years, 20 years from now bills from the hospital. I'm not focusing on expensive foods like, oh, I'm gonna eat caviar every day, you know, or like super expensive steaks or something. For me, the way I taking care of myself, I will buy organic, local produced products, as less as processed as possible, not add sugars. And sometimes those kind of fruits or those kind of products are more expensive. For me, it's kind of an investment, and I'm happy I can afford it now. Before, I wouldn't care about my future. I told you, I'm like little immature because I saw other people like from their 20s, they're like thinking about their future, their retirement, their investments, and they're like saving. Honestly, I just started to think about those things from like seriously from this year. Here in Korea right now, for all the people that like my age, your age, I don't know, there's like huge controversy, problem, crisis. Yes, I'm a millennial. We don't want to reproduce ourselves. Here Korea has super low birth rate. Owning a house is almost impossible for a lot of people. So people now, what they are doing is they're crazy investing in stocks and cryptocurrencies. So that's kind of the trend here these days. Education is super expensive. So you come to study your degree here, it's not that expensive. There's like scholarships, something like that. But since in Korea, education is super important. It starts from like when you are in the kindergarten. How I'm gonna get married and have a house if I can afford it, and how I'm not even thinking about having kids. So that's kind of a problem Korea is having right now. I come to realize being mature is not related with how old you are. I think maturity comes with experience or the ability you have to learn from those experiences. Let's talk about a little bit about the topic dating and age. For me personally, I saw definitely a difference dating in my 20s and dating now when I'm 30. I would just not have much requirements when I was dating someone. It was just like, oh, hi, I like you, you're cute. And as I gain more experience, I will look for different things. Before, I would just care a lot about education or like that person should be like a really good student. My past 2 boyfriends, they were like super smart A students. The last person I liked, he was doing his PhD, working in Google. But now I changed so much, guys. Like now I don't care much about those things. I think I was more conservative in my 20s regarding those topics, and now I became way more relaxed about that. For example, before I will never date a guy that he's like little long hair. Now honestly I don't care, like has long hair, short hair. In my 20s I will never consider dating a guy with tattoos. I'll be like, no, you can have tattoos, you can have piercings, the way you express yourself. I'm way more relaxed in that aspect. NALU, what do you think? What are your thoughts about marriage, having kids, blah blah blah? In my 20s, definitely I thought, yes, I'm gonna marry, I'm gonna have this, blah blah blah. But now that is like coming closer. My mom had me when she was 36, but now that it's not that far. For me, honestly, now having a children is such a big responsibility. I'm like, I don't know if I want that. Once you have a children, you can return it. It's like you gotta stick with you for at least 18 years, 20 years. That's a huge commitment, and it's a really expensive commitment.
That's my thoughts. Maybe they will change. I don't know. My thoughts of marriage right now is I think marriage is not for everyone. Not because you marry, it doesn't guarantee you're gonna be happy. It's the beginning of something you have to work for a long time and you have to choose the right person, because what's the point to just getting divorced? I'm gonna be with a person for the rest of my life. Who guarantee I'm gonna still caring and loving that person after 10 years, after 15 years, after 20 years? It's still a mature answer. Maybe one day meeting the right person, I'll say, please, I wanna marry you. Or maybe that will never happen, so I don't know. You don't wanna marry? Totally cool. You don't wanna have kids? Girl, boy, you do you. Se está haciendo la nochecita. It's almost 7. So just do this. Because anyways, everything's gonna close soon, so I don't know. Should we just do it?
Oh my god. Me vine al Noraebang porque... ¿Por qué no? Oh my god, 생각보다 진짜 저렴해요. ¿Saben cuánto me cuesta una hora en el Noraebang? Como $5. Está súper barato. Y es un cuarto enorme. Me regalaron agüita. I just want to sing one group songs, okay? I don't have friends that like the group I like these days because I'm in the closet. If I come with other friends, they'll be like, no, NALU, play other songs, do other things. But I'm like, I just want those songs, okay?
Yeah, I owe it all to my mother. On my hot like summer, and I'm making you sweat like that, honey.
For some people, you'll always be younger, and for other people, you'll be older. So that's the rule of life. I still have a lot of questions. I still want to figure it out, a lot of things about my future, starting your own company, savings, finances, properties, all the responsibilities and all the options that comes with age. My goal is age gracefully, taking care better of myself, enjoying more the present, just live the way you want, just love the way you want. Honestly, this is the only life we have. That's one of the things I'm learning. There's of course a lot of things that I still need to learn and still need to adapt in really an adult life here, well, not in my home country. So that's really funny and something we can find out in the next videos. Let's have fun now. Okay, relax. Back.